Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Alicia's Desk Interviews. And tonight we are going to sit down with an awesome young lady. Her name is Destini Taylor, and you all probably know her as our favorite Sunshine Oracle. And she has come out with a book. She is a local author now. The name of the book is Shifting Tides, and she is going to be doing a book signing at the Clive Barnes & Noble tomorrow at 1 p.m. So I'm going to try and make it over there. I'm not sure if I will with the hip stuff and everything else. It's not looking great. But she's going to be on tonight. Now, if I remember correctly, she just got done doing a psychic fair, and she's going to hop on with us here in a minute. She said she's just getting into some comfy clothes. So, as you all know, things have been a little crazy over at Alicia's desk. Well, and every other thing I do. But we're going to get back to a much better schedule here soon. Hopefully before March really hops up on us. And I have some really exciting new news to share, but I'm not going to share it until it's out, Still working away on the books myself. And, sorry. These bangs are crazy. Still working away on the books myself. Damn Kindle Vella. As some of you know, Kindle Vella decided to shut down last year, and they're going to close it out fully at the end of February. So, rough. But I had a lot of my stories through there that I was going episodic with, and yeah, it's heartbreaking. But back to Destini. She is already writing her number 2, which is called Shifting Tracks. She showed me the cover. It's absolutely awesome. And yeah, I believe she's at least a quarter of the way through writing it. Shifting Tides, her current book, it's a romance novel, and it's set in a surfing world kind of backdrop. So yeah, I think this is going to be pretty awesome. Let me message her and be like, hey, Now, I did put the link to buy her book on Amazon in the bio, in the discussion and everything like that, as well as in the event bio. Okay. Click the link. Okay. I think she forgot that I sent her the link earlier. Hold on. Let's do this again. 1 second here. Okay, if I can get Facebook to come up, we'll see. Or maybe not. Oh, my goodness gracious. Da-da-da-da-da. Alrighty. She should be coming on here soon. I don't think this is going to be too long of an interview, just because she and I are both a bit tuckered out. But I am really happy that she's taken the time to sit down with us this evening. So, anyways, Destini she told me, and I will ask her again for you guys. Never mind, she's here. Cool. Hey, girlie.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yeah, I bet.
Tired.
Now, what were you doing? Were you at the psychic event, or what's going on?
I was at an event in Cedar Rapids. It was like just a random vendor show for local businesses.
Cool. Yeah. I saw your advertisement. I wasn't sure if it was Saturday or Friday.
Yep, it was today. Yep.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I love the advertisements. Yep. Okay. So when you do the March Fair, you're going to need to advertise like that.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you got all the questions I sent you on the interview, and do you think you can get the answers back to me by the 10th?
For sure.
You went mute.
I did? Can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you now.
Perfect. I don't know what happened. That was weird.
That's okay. There's been all kinds of weird tech issues on my end, too.
Really?
StreamYard was like, we're not going to put on your background. We're not going to play the thing. I'm like, ah!
Of course, tech remnants.
Yes,
yeah, I can get it back to you either tonight or first thing in the morning.
So. Perfect. Actually, that's going to be wonderful. Because, I want to do a print version. And as you know, want to do the magazine. So I'm going to include that in the sci-fi one.
Ooh, okay.
I have to send you a media waiver, though, because of the person who shall not be named that's crawling up everyone's butts and causing mischief.
So
Everybody's going to have to sign a waiver now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's okay. You know what? That person made me tighten up, so I should thank that person eventually, once I calm down.
Is that person still calling security?
Not yet, I think.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Good.
Okay, so Destiny, Shifting Tides. Do you have a copy of the book with you?
In the other room.
Okay. Hang on. Let me see if I can find a picture. You talk about yourself.
I might have one.
Okay.
I do.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I took some with me to the fair, but
Yes.
I didn't take them all. So.
Oh, okay. Guys, this is Shifting Tides, and I absolutely love your use of sunset and silhouette. Anybody that knows my artwork is like, yeah, she'd like that.
And the second one's going to be sunset-ish too. So.
Do you have a picture of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Pull that up.
Awesome. Oh, see, that is so pretty. That's playing to my love of pink, purple, blue. I like that. Yeah. I really like that gradient scale. All right, so tell us a little bit about your book, if you wouldn't mind reading a page or two.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, if you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm not going to keep you on all night, but I do want the audience to get a little bit more familiar with your book.
It's got surfing in it. I'll read the first page, but it's got.
Tell us a little bit more about it before you jump into the book.
Yeah, I'll read the back first.
Give us a preview, like a trailer.
Yeah. So it says, in Shifting Tides, Remy retreats to her parents' beach house in North Carolina, seeking solace from personal turmoil. There, she unexpectedly falls in love with a charming surfer, compelling her to confront her past heartaches and embrace the promise of new beginning. As Remy navigates the complexities of motherhood and romance, she must also deal with the lingering impact of her toxic ex, who is also her baby's father, and who threatens her newfound peace. Through nature's healing embrace, Remy discovers the strength to forge her own path, embracing change and seizing the opportunity for growth and happiness on a journey of love, loss, and self-discovery.
That is amazing. Now, I didn't realize if it was about a young mother. What made you go that route? I'm just curious.
I want to be a mom.
right.
I have a dream of, becoming a mom of at least one, but hopefully two. I don't want any more than two. But yeah, it was just kind of like to write about, a mom that's, trying to, not only take care of herself and heal, but also, prepare for like a baby coming in that she's gonna have to take care of as well.
Wait. She's pregnant during this.
Yeah, during the whole book.
Dang, way to throw obstacles in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, does she deliver on a surfboard? Tell me no. Okay.
No.
Okay. Oh, poor baby.
No.
All right. So pick the page that you like best, or one that really resonates with you.
I think the first one's probably the best because it really just sets the scene for the whole book. Okay, so chapter 1, February. Positive. The test in my hand is telling me it's positive. I can't understand how this happened because I already know how it happened. How could we let this happen? How am I going to do this? Can I even do this on my own? My name is Remy. My boyfriend of 3 years had just dumped me, and now I'm finding out that I'm pregnant. How am I going to tell him? Am I even going to tell him? He's moving to another state. Henry was offered a spot on the Blinkers, an NBA team in New Jersey. I can't mess it up for him. He already doesn't want me to go. Besides, I've got my own place and a good job. He didn't want me to uproot my life with moving out of state. I think he also met someone there. He was acting weird a couple months ago. Sorry. When he got back from touring the basketball court he'll be playing for. He was gone for only a week, but when we got back, he hardly touched me. He was so different. It wasn't until a month ago he was kind of back to his normal self, cuddling up with me. And we were having sex again and just doing what most couples do, and it was really great. Then yesterday, I saw the messages on his phone.
I was gonna say, all right, I'm getting cheating vibes right there. It's like, oh, all right. Well, now tell me that she at least pours cayenne pepper somewhere really unmentionable on him.
No, sadly, no. That
Okay.
was an idea, though.
It's like, cheat on me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's okay. That's actually interesting. There's a lot more complexity and depth than I had originally been led to assume on your book.
Lots of
Okay.
detail.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what inspired you to write this tale.
Well, I lived in North Carolina at one point in my
Mhm.
life, with a toxic ex.
Oh,
And when I
okay.
moved back, I was like, I've always wanted to write a book. It's been a dream of mine since, I don't know, middle or late middle school, early high school.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be an author one day. And
Yes.
so I just had this idea to write about surfing. I've loved, reading surf romance, and I
Okay.
lived in North Carolina, and so I knew about, North Carolina. And so I'm like, it'd be nice to write about it, and then, add some surfing into it. And then my main character is Aiden, the surfer that she meets is, um, he's kind of inspired by my best friend that passed away. And so, I mean, he wasn't a surfer, but just
Right.
like
No.
the looks and the name it's based off of Zach. So,
So, quick question. And this is something I asked in the questions I gave you. Is your life inspired, or is your work inspired partially by events in your life?
yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I mean, not everything in the book
No.
obviously happened. I
See,
had to make
then
that clear to my aunt.
oh, no, see, there are some readers who say it's a Mary Sue when an author uses their life to write on. But you know what I love about authors who use their life to write on? It's so much more real. Everything is so much more believable because you're writing from what you know. I remember I wrote a story, and it was actually about my dad almost dying in 2019. I just didn't tell anybody about it. I
Yeah.
told nobody because I also didn't mention the supernatural aspects either. And so I
Oh,
dramatized it a little bit. And the comments I kept getting on it were like, oh my God, this is so real. I feel that. I'm like, I ain't saying nothing about this. Thank you so much.
yeah.
But
Wow.
everything, when I ran around in the demicon circles and these and that and a lot of different conventions, and I would hear fans say, oh, well, it's Mary Sue and this. And I'm like, yeah, but I think maybe that's what lends the realism to the books.
Yeah.
That's what lends the heart, because somebody's writing from their own personal feelings.
Mhm.
And what was it? Kevin Smith. Do you know him? He's a director.
The name rings a bell.
Clerks, Mallrats, stuff like Dennis is wild about him. Anyway, um, Kevin Smith said something, and I loved it. He said, in the end, when you're writing, you're actually writing a letter to yourself.
Oh, I like that.
You're writing a letter to your future self. This is, and I know for me, whenever I write, it's because I want people to feel less alone.
Yeah.
Whatever experiences I've gone through, I know there's people out there that went through them too.
Yeah.
And that's why I always ask, when I'm interviewing people, is this based on your life in some part?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that leads me to another question.
Mhm.
Well, two, actually. One, what is your goal when you write? Yes, yes, everybody wants to be a writer. Everybody wants to make money. I'm not talking about those goals. I'm talking about the actual goal.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna write, like, 5 books. I think that's a goal that I have to write around 5.
Why? Why?
Um,
For me, it's to tell the stories that dance around in my head and to connect
yeah.
with the people out there. But why for you? What is it that deep
So,
down makes you want to write?
like, when I was in high school, I read a lot when I was in high school, and it was an escape, I had, part of, like, my childhood was pretty rough, and so reading was just an escape from the real world. And so I wanna write to where it just sucks people in to where, like, they feel like they are in the book and not, here, you know?
I love
And
it.
so, yeah.
Okay. And see, I love that. That it reminds me of a little meme I saw. Reality, and this girl, she's like, "Not today," and dives into a book, and it closes behind her, and then reality's like, "Damn it," you
Yeah.
know. Okay, awesome. Now, next thing. Hold on. Let me get this question absolutely right. Just think. What is the best thing about your work what brings you the most joy that keeps you doing it?
Well, I'd say it's my like romance scenes, not smut, not the smut scenes, but like them falling for each other and like just having like their own special moments. Like in the book, they kind of have their own spot on the beach, and
Okay.
so like them being in that spot, I think it's cute. And yeah, I mean the smut scenes are also great. I love writing
Ah!
those.
I'm going to send you an author, Ruby Dixon. You're gonna love it. It's all aliens, though. It's alien on human,
That's fine.
but it's happily ever after. You always get a happy ending with Ruby, and that's what I love. I cannot stand those. Okay, have you seen the movie Message in a Bottle?
Mm-mm.
Okay, don't watch it unless you are absolutely wanting to be depressed.
I love sad movies and sad books. There was in high school, I had to like do a project on reading, like, we had to read like 10 books for the semester or something like that, maybe more.
Okay.
And we got to pick the genre, we had to pick a specific, and it had to be like specific. And so I did books about where, people are sick.
Okay.
And so I read like The Fault in Our Stars. I read like a girl
Wow.
that had AIDS, and
Wow.
yeah. And so I like tore myself down. I was like, I mean, I didn't tear myself down. I just made myself like emotional during that time because I'm like reading all these sad books, but I loved it. Like, I don't know. I just really liked the sad
For me,
novels.
it's one thing if they're sad and you get to a point and there's a lot of spiritualism through it, but
Yeah.
I'm a big one for happy endings. I like happy endings. I
I
think
do like
reality
happy
is
endings too.
bad enough. I want
Yeah.
it when I go to watch something or read something. I need a pick me up, And
Just because
so,
I like sad doesn't mean I write sad. My book has, I think, a happy ending.
right. But Ruby Dixon, yes, it is smutty. Yes, it is alien on human, but it's always a happy ending.
I love
Everything
that.
always works out organically, and I love that.
Yeah.
And that girl has written a lot. I don't even
Really?
know how she does it. Good Lord. I'll send you a link to her on Amazon.
Okay.
Anyway, but back to my question before. Okay. So for you, it's more about what you're writing within the story that you're
Mhm.
enjoying.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. 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 Now, what are your goals for your work? Both material and more emotional, connection wise, things like that.
I can never be more organized. Like
Okay.
keeping characters straight. I've been having kind of trouble with that a little bit. But I finally think I have a system down. I did have a Google Doc for the first book, a separate Google Doc that like showed characters and like relationships and stuff like that. But I think having it like physically on like a
Yeah.
piece of paper next to me is just easier. So
One of my goals is to get a great big cork board and just stick sticky notes up on it. Just be like, ha, there we go.
yeah.
Somebody's gonna walk into the house and be like, "What are
Are
you
you
doing?"
solving a murder?
No, I'm solving a plot line. I'm murdering a deadline. But no. Okay, but I mean, your goal for your work. Where do you want to take this? Where do you see yourself? What are your drives, your ambitions, your dreams, your goals? And then also on a personal thing, is it to connect with fans, to connect with people? You already said giving them a book that lets them just fall into the book. And I love
Yeah.
that, but expound on that a little. And then tell me your more material goals.
I obviously want to write as many as possibly can, and it would be cool to be famous, like get my books out there and,
Oh, yeah.
and have a lot, and that's a goal. I won't be mad if it doesn't happen, like what's meant to be will come. And yeah. My goal also for book two is to try and get like them more out there, and more like promoting them.
Yeah.
It's just been hard for the first one because it's like it's only one. I don't have multiple like a lot of authors do. And so I'm in the mindset that as I get more out, the more I'll be able to promote them and they're more likely to do better because there's multiple. Does that make sense?
I was going to say, if you want to sell a stack of books, you got to write a stack of books. And that's always the philosophy I come from. But I will tell you, Twilight, it got big off one book.
Really?
Just one book. And then she wrote a whole bunch more. I heard one rumor that she actually had a Buffy and Angel marathon, fell asleep, and dreamed Twilight. And I was like, so basically this is fan fiction of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. No.
Huh.
So, I guess honestly, and here's another question. Here's another question, actually, before I say anything more. Let's suppose you never become famous and you don't sell many books and everything like that. Will you still keep writing no matter what?
Oh, for sure. I love it. It's like
Then you
it's
know what?
relaxing and
I think you will
yeah,
always be in the market. You will
yeah.
always be on the market. So, you know what? Yeah.
And I think it might be harder too because I'm self-published and I don't have like a publisher, that like is like, oh, we'll try and get like 50 copies sold or however many that they do. And I
But,
think that's a little bit
but
different, but that's okay.
self-publishing actually allows you to retain truer to your story.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I
And
look
it's
at.
mine. It's not because
Yeah.
technically when you take it to a publisher, they buy it for the story from you.
Yeah.
And it's
I
yours, but it's no longer yours. Does that make sense?
yeah, I
And I
looked
don't
at a
like that.
couple of publishers and I it's not about maybe control, but it's I want to stay as true to the story as possible.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be twisted later on because the whole point of the story is to tell a story. It's not to. So honestly, we're living in a golden age of self-publishing and
Yeah.
do-it-yourselferism.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now, next question. Are
Mhm.
you going to do more merch?
I have bookmarks.
Okay.
I didn't know what other I wanna wait until, like, I have multiple books out there and I have more of a fan base,
Mhm.
before I did more merch, but I would love to, and I'm open to ideas if you have any, or
Sublimation,
anybody.
t-shirts, tote bags, journals.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I no, what you can do actually, as long as you own the images, well, you also have to have some software. You actually do need Adobe for like Threadless, TeePublic, and everything like that. They're starting to get more and more uptight about the images they take. I think that's partially because
Oh.
people are sending in stupid stuff, and really sketchy stuff. But
Yeah.
basically, you open up like I don't know. For me, I stick with Threadless and TeePublic, but there are a bunch of others. There's Society6, there's Redbubble, there's all kinds of them. But you input your design and it'll put it on mugs, t-shirts, everything.
Oh, nice.
That way you have your little merch shop.
Yeah.
You can also do Printful. You can try Shopify, and they've got all their plugins, but I hated Shopify. It
Yeah.
was
I tried to
horrible.
use it.
You did too?
Yeah, at one
Oh my
point I've tried.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
They have all the plugins, and I love the fact they have all the plugins. Now I just need Wix to get all the plugins
Yeah.
because Wix doesn't have a plugin. Ah. So yeah, I got to do it a roundabout way. But honestly, take your cover and just input it.
Yeah. Or a quote. I was thinking about a quote from the book. That's
Do you have a logo?
no.
You got to get a logo.
I have a logo for my Oracle business,
No,
but
no,
not
no,
for
not your Oracle business.
not for my authors.
Your writing business.
Yeah, I need to get one. I need to make one.
Get your logo and get a quote that you really like. I know for me, with most of my nonfic work, it's every answer begins with a question.
Oh,
Because in my mind, there is no dumb question. Okay,
yeah,
been disabused of that notion a couple of times, but still, there is no dumb question. And so every answer begins with a question, but get yourself a quote that you can stand by and a little logo. That way you can put it on. And plus, a lot of times with merch, you'll be doing free merch,
yeah,
but it will give people something to trace back to you.
yeah. That's true.
Okay, so do. Now, here's another question that I actually want to get to. Well, actually, two. Um, what do you think makes your work, your writing, stand out in the crowd? What is it that makes it stand out above all the other stuff in your genre?
Well,
What
I
do you
think I think the cover really draws this book in
feel?
because
Yes,
it's
the
just
cover,
like
but your writing,
super close.
your work.
I really like I'm descriptive,
Mhm.
and so I like the details. And so if you have the details and you're like picturing it in your mind and you're there. And
Yeah.
so I think it's really important to have those. And so I try to, have them as, how do I word it? Like as much as possible. That
Yeah.
way, it comes to your mind. And I think that's what's important, and especially in my romance novels.
Yes. Well, any novels, period,
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I will say there are some books that go way too far on the detail where you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you did not need to spend 4 pages describing a dragon scale. We get it. We get it. God. Okay. Or novels that have 300 different words that are mentioned, that are aphorisms for the color gray. I mean, damn. Okay.
A stopping point, like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
there's too
mean,
much.
and the overwording, the Dickinsonian way, which I do actually enjoy reading Dickens just because it gives me some really cool verbal banter points.
Yeah.
Connubial missile is one of those.
Hmm.
Connubial missile. I kid you not. That's a term in there. I love it.
Interesting.
But when I'm reading for fun, when I'm reading for enjoyment or relaxation, I love just let's move the plot along and get there,
Mhm. Yeah.
We don't need to stop at every cafe along the way.
Yeah.
Um, then another one is, what are some authors or media that inspire you?
There's one, I know her first name's Nikki. I wanna say it's, like, Nikki Charter. She writes several romance. She kind of inspired me, and then, I just have, like, a lot of books that I've read that are just kind of like, "Oh my gosh, I really wanted to, write, like, this inspires me to publish." And I've also, like, my book is very inspired by, like, One Tree Hill, the movie Beaches.
Okay,
Um, yeah.
awesome. Now, give me a brief example of what a regular day of writing looks like for you.
Usually I either have my laptop open, obviously, I have to write on it. Um, I'll listen to music, and if I don't feel like listening to music while I write and I wanna, like, have something on in the background, I'll put, like, a TV show that I'm watching, and I'm actually able to write and pay attention to the show still at the same time, and so that's
That's
really
actually
nice.
impressive. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
And
Oh,
so
hell
most of
no.
the time, it is music. Usually, I have music going while I'm writing, like, music's my where I go to when I need some more inspiration, and it's like it just helps me flow better with writing. But sometimes when it's just like music isn't doing it, I put on a show and I'm not still able to like type away.
Now, my question is, and I don't know if you've ever done this, I know for me I have, certain stories, they almost have a soundtrack where you just put
Mhm.
that one song on repeat because that
Yep.
song is almost the soundtrack of this story.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Like I
So,
have a whole playlist for book 1 on Spotify.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So, my question to you is, what would be the one song, if you could pick any of them, that would correspond to Shifting Tides?
Ooh, hold on, I gotta look at the playlist.
Okay, okay.
It's a good question. Um, there it is. I have to go with the one that's like it's brought up in the book too. It's Two is Better Than One by Taylor Swift and Boys Like Girls.
Okay.
It's one of her older songs with them, so yeah.
Now, here's another question. Copyright issues, can you bring up songs and movies in your book?
I don't know. I did it.
Okay, man.
I'm
I've
like,
done it in a couple of short stories, but I was always a little worried.
yeah, I was too, and so I'm like, "You know what? It's just one. If, like, I get in trouble, then I know not to do it again."
Yeah, no,
And
I get that.
so, yeah, I think I Googled it. I don't remember what Google said when I wrote it, but I was like, "Well, I'm doing it." And I think Google said it was, like, fine as long as I don't know, I don't remember.
As long
But
as you
I was like,
credit the artist, right?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
and
I was
so,
curious.
yeah.
Um, okay. So now I'm going to ask you this, and you may not have any just yet, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Okay.
Any fun fan stories or fan horror stories yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Let's say I came up to you at your book signing. You know, I've read the book. I really love it. I'm a big fan. What would make you uncomfortable, do you think, if I did, behavior-wise?
Yelling.
Oh, God. Yelling. Okay.
You're like yelling like you're angry at me for like, I don't know, something I wrote in the book.
Okay.
That would be like,
Okay.
which,
What?
okay. I did have somebody when I did an author fair back in September, I want to say. It was August or September. It was September or October because I signed up for it in September.
Okay.
So I went to this author fair and I had somebody buy a book for me. You know, I think she was the only one that bought one. But she also added me on Facebook and was like, "Oh, I found you." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, she added like my personal page and like that kind of weirded me out a little bit, but I was like, "Okay, you seem sweet and like you're not going to like, you know, constantly like message me weird stuff, you know?" So I was like, "Okay, that's fine." But in the future, I'm not gonna add people unless like I know you and I'm comfortable with you.
I was gonna
You're
say
not.
that's also why I prefer to actually have just like Alicia's desk page. You
Yeah,
know,
and I
just
usually
kind of
like
keep.
yeah, and I had my face or my separate author page like
Mhm.
listed. And so I
Okay.
was like, she like didn't follow that. She just added my like personal account and I'm like, I need to like put another like, please only follow my author account. Don't add me.
Actually, what you might be able to do is just on Facebook on your personal account, go by a nickname.
That's true.
That way, can't find you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or take my
Just,
like last name out and put something
yep.
else there.
Destiny.
Yeah.
Just Destiny. That's it. But Destiny with a Y. And just be like, yeah, that's right. Try finding me now.
Yeah.
If you're determined enough to find me now, well, we're either going to be really awesome friends or I'm going to be scared. One of the two. That's the way it's going here. All right. Well, what else would you like to add for younger authors?
Go for it. Don't be afraid. Like, you'll be so proud of yourself when you're done. I was. I was like so happy. And am so happy like working on the second one. It's a great feeling. And so if you're wanting to write, do it.
Okay. Now, editing services. What would you say is the most important thing about writing a book?
Don't I like pushed myself with the first book. I was like I gave myself a deadline. And so make sure that you like are comfortable with that deadline and don't be afraid to extend it. Um I was really set on mine. I was able to finish it, but I had like some issues with my the person that was editing my book. Um, I think we're cool now, but I've decided to go separate routes with editing,
Mhm.
just because of that. I don't want any issues in the future. And so
Where did you go for editing?
I went to a family friend,
Okay. Okay.
and then that's the one that didn't work out very well. I had a deadline and that person wasn't working on it as much as I needed it, worked on. Um, and so then I ended up finding someone else, and she had it done by the time I needed it done. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
All right. And then cover design. Where did you go?
I got my covers, both of them, from Get Covers.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and I think the next one, like, since my third book won't be part of the series, it'll be its own.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna make the third one myself.
Awesome.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Now, author fairs, conventions, stuff like that. What are your thoughts? Are they worth it for you?
The author fair that I did up in Ames, it was fun. I didn't have to pay anything, which was nice.
Okay.
But I feel like they could have promoted their event a little bit more.
Okay.
I only saw them post it like once or twice, and so it was like they should have boosted that a little bit more, just to get more people there because I don't think a lot of people knew about it
Okay.
that time. But I mean, it still wasn't bad. We still had people walking through. I did sell one copy, and that made me happy. It was like one's better than none,
Yeah.
and so I was still happy. And I'm nervous for my Barnes and Noble one tomorrow, but I've only ever done the author fair last October, and
Now,
so
with the book signing, they approached
Mhm.
you for the book signing, right?
I approached them actually.
And they said yes.
Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome. Okay.
yeah. I called them and I was like, "So who could I contact about doing like a book event at the store?" And they're like, "Oh, you would actually email this person." They gave me the email. I reached out to them. I didn't hear back from them for like I
Ever.
think a week, and so it made me nervous because I was like, "Oh man, they're not gonna want a local author, no." And then she emailed me back and she's like, "Sorry for the delay, like we've just been kind of crazy. It's a crazy time of year." And because it was like, the end of year, it was like around holidays, and so people were like, shopping. And she's like, "I don't have anything for the rest of the year, but I do have some, I have openings at the beginning of the year." And I'm like,
Sweet.
"That's fine." And so yeah,
All
they
right.
bought 15 copies and
Yes.
we set a day and time
Awesome.
and yeah, very exciting.
Now, okay, so you're gonna be there from 1 till when?
I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't give me an end time, so I think it's just either when like I either sell out of the 15 or they sell out because they're the ones that own the copies now. When they sell the copies, or I just feel like I'm ready to go. So
Okay.
I think it's gonna. I'm feeling 3.
Okay.
I feel it's
Okay.
gonna go from like 1 to 3. Because I
Now,
also don't want to be there like all evening either.
I was gonna say, now remember, you got to selfie yourself at the table or have somebody take a picture and send it to me so I can put it up on everything. Okay?
You got
Yeah.
it.
All right. Oh, also 2 things. If you're okay with it, I'm going to put up an Ask Destiny box at the shop so we can get you some letters going. Okay. And then number 2, how's that supernatural story coming?
I need to work on it.
All right.
I'm trying to get ideas for it. How long does it need to be?
3,000 words. 3 to
3,000 words?
5,000
Okay.
words.
Okay, I can do
It has
that.
to be
Okay.
over 2,000, but under 5,000.
Okay, and it's gonna be any kind of supernatural.
Dude, use your own life experiences at this point.
Well, I'm just asking because I had an idea for my 3rd book, that was gonna be like a supernatural romance.
Do it.
But I'm thinking like maybe start with a short story for
The
you
only
and then expanding on it later.
Yes,
What
I
do you think?
love doing
Okay.
that. But
Okay. Yeah, I knew that you like doing that, so
one thing I will say,
Mhm.
keep any smut scenes out. Because it's going to be an all ages magazine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up my first issue of science fiction age at 10. Okay. So, I mean, I started early, baby. But yeah, I want kids, I want everybody to be able to read this. Romance is fine, but no happy endings. Okay, keep it to an egg roll.
You got it.
Can't hear you.
You got it.
Okay, but yeah, do you think you can have it to me by the 10th?
We do that.
Okay. All right, babe. Well, one sentence you want to leave everybody with.
Do it. Go for it. Follow your dreams. I'm glad I did.
Yay! And I'm glad you did too. I'm so excited and happy for you. Like I said, I'm going to try and make it out there. I'm glad you told me it was at Clive because you were like, yeah, Jordan Creek's a long ways
Yeah.
away. And I'm like, okay.
They have 2. They have the one in the mall, and they have the one that's like, I think 5-10 minutes away from the mall, and that's the one with the 2 floors, and that's what
I
I'm
like
at,
the one with the
so
2 floors.
yeah, the
That's a
bigger
fun
store.
one.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
babe.
very excited.
And would you mind coming on in the future for future interviews?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
All right. You have a good night. Go get some sleep.
You too. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, honey. Good night. All right, y'all. Well, that was Destiny. She's absolutely awesome. And go out there tomorrow if you are in the area. Go to the Clive Barnes & Noble and buy one of her books and have her sign it because she is just awesome. And the book sounds really good. I may have to buy one myself, even though you all know that my genres are sci-fi, horror, and fantasy only. So I might have to check hers out. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye, butterflies.